On this play, Jurgens and Dickerson combo on the one technique. But when Dickerson goes up to the linebacker, Jurgens gets beat, and then his man ends up making the tackle. All right, here you got Landon Dickerson and the backside tight end pulling, but Fred Johnson gets beat by that four technique on his inside shade and disrupts their path, and they can't even get to the hole. And Fred Johnson's man makes the tackle. This is a wide nine technique, and he still beats Fred inside across his face. This guy crosses Jurgens' face, and he lets him go. Saquon has to do a hard bounce outside to his left, and he makes chicken salad out of chicken shit. So Jurgens has a man head up. There is a three technique in the guard tackle gap, and the guard and tackle pull and let that man go free and damn near get the handoff. So when they say they did not prepare for a five-man front, I believe them. Right here, Calcaterra doesn't do a very good job clearing out the hole. I may have tried to continue laterally, trying to outrun that linebacker coming down to beat him to the outside. This is the one everybody's talking about that Saquon missed the hole. I don't necessarily agree with that. His eyes are locked on Dickerson, who is his pulling guard and his lead blocker. We are taught as running backs, follow your blockers. Dance with the one you brought. Now, when you go away from your blockers and you think you see something, that's when you get your head blowed up. He could have went and cut it up and got some yardage like that, but I don't dock him points for following his offensive guard. Watch how far the right guard Tyler Steen gets pushed backwards. Maybe Saquon could have made it through that hole, but I understand why he cut it up. You got a flash of a offensive lineman's back in front of your face. That's what you're trained to do. Cut it up when you see his back. If Tyler Steen goes forward on that block, I think that's a big game for Saquon. This one is just a missed call by the referees. Illegal hands to the face. Fred Johnson's head goes back. The guy gets around him and ends up making the tackle. Should have been a penalty. They counted this as a run, but this is a screenplay. Saquon gets the ball, slips on the paint. I've done that before, especially on that turf, but I just hate this screenplay. There you have it. That was not good, y'all. Not good at all. Film session today for the Eagles could not have been great. That had to have been some hard conversations with Jeff Stoutland and that offensive line. Every play had a negative grade on one person on that offensive line. Now, I heard some people on other podcasts talking about Fred Johnson played pretty well, and I was like, I didn't see it. Fred Johnson, Tyler Steen, Cam Jurgens, not great games. And you got to be prepared for a five-man front. Some of the schemes that they did against five-man front, you go into the gap and you got a man head up on you. Like some of the stuff didn't make no sense. So when Landon Dickerson said they saw looks that they didn't prepare for, I believe him. But the question needs to be asked, why weren't you prepared? It wasn't like the Cowboys weren't running a five-man front. That wasn't anything new. So I guess my question is, what tapes were you looking at? You weren't looking at the last, 3-4 weeks. So again, I'm looking at coaching like, what are y'all doing in there? What exactly are you guys doing? They have to come up with a better concept for run blocking. Now, for the to the end of the season, I would expect to see five-man fronts because it was successful against us and we did not show that we could handle it. So don't be surprised if we see that from Chicago. whether it's what they do or not. It's just another thing that other teams have against us. They watch the tape and they say, hey, the Eagles are not good against this formation. They're not good against this defensive set. And they run it until we stop it. And we haven't figured out a way to stop most of this nonsense. Offense was shooting themselves in the foot. Penalties was negating turnovers by the defense. We walked into it. We walked into that with our eyes wide open. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how this is going to get fixed, but they got to fix it. This offensive line, you got to put Brett Toth in right now. Brett Toth needs to start against Chicago. He needs to start against Chicago. If Cam Jurgens is starting at Chicago, it would seem to me like they just done given up, because they can't be watching the tape and say this is a good thing and we want to stick with that. Somebody got to be the adult in the room and say, hey, I know you're hurt. You're not getting it done, so we're going to sit you down and we're going to let Brett Toth start, or Lampkin, whatever it is they decide to do. Whatever they decide to do, it don't matter. But clearly, Cam Jurgens is not getting it done. And I'm saying that as a Cam Jurgens fan. But I got to keep it 100. It ain't looking right. It ain't looking right at all. It's all good when you trying to suck it up and you got grit and all of that kind of stuff. But guess what? If you ain't playing up to snuff and you getting beat, grit ain't cutting it. Grit ain't making the block. So they got some uncomfortable conversations and some hard decisions that they got to make in that locker room. If they want to get to the next level, or I should say get back to the same level that won them a Super Bowl, they got 5 weeks to figure it out. I still think we're going to make the playoffs. I still think we're going to win the NFC East, but we have got to play better on offense. Now, that was the first game that I've seen this year where we just had a bunch of errors on the offense and defense and penalties and missed opportunities, shooting ourselves in the foot, all of that. We just had a hell of a day with Murphy's Law. That's what we had. So hopefully we can get that out of our system. And now we got another issue, because now we're dealing with injuries again. Reed Blankenship is hurt. Drew Makuba is out. So now what are we going to do? So we got to shuffle some people around again, and we right back to the situation. Sidney Brown is in. What are they going to leave Cooper Najee back there? They going to move him back to safety? What? They got some hard decisions to make. And these decisions are going to affect us going into the playoff, because now this is where we are in the season. We are working our way to the end of the season to position ourselves for a playoff run. This is what it's all about. Getting to the playoffs, because when you get to the playoffs, everybody starts at square one. I don't care if you have a bye week or not. Everybody gets a new lease on life. Once the playoff starts, now anything can happen, because this year there are no dominant teams. Everybody has a shot. The Eagles got a shot. The Rams got a shot. The Seahawks got a shot. Everybody's got a shot. There are no teams that are just dominating. It's not like that. We'll see what the Eagles can do. You got 5 weeks to get it right. Film don't lie.